I didn't say nothing sassy. I was just saying I didn't know that this is the route that we were taking to appease our male listeners.
Well, most of our male listeners are probably bigger, bigger tigger. So, you know what? They can appreciate some good cleave too. So, there's that.
That's the hope.
Karen Walker is an icon for a reason.
That she is. So let's get into this. How are you? I am tired.
Hey, everybody.
Brandy episode. Boom.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Black Girl Charm. I am your exhausted. I just want my bed and some cookies. I'm about to put some cookies in the oven. Co-host Ray, joined by my
I,
co-host.
I am Toya in the wedding salon. That is who I'm going to be this week.
So are we gonna just? You know what? I'm setting a timer right
I'm about to
now.
say set it to. Oh, look at us! Look at the wavelength. I was going to say set a timer for 5 minutes so I can get it out.
I'm giving us 5 minutes and 5 seconds. I always give myself that extra 5 second cushion because you have to get back after
I mean,
you
I got
hit.
all of this cushion anyway, so I understand. I understand.
Anyway, ready and go.
Go.
Yo, how you come on season 35 of Married to Medicine with these Flavor Flav ass nicknames? Like, you are a grown ass woman and you're supposed to be like a doctor's wife, and this is what you're. Oh, anyway, that's not even what we're here for. How were you
I,
upset that
look,
somebody
the
was
fact
telling
that
you that you need a
she's
girdle
upset
for
because
your
somebody told her to put
wedding
on a
date?
girdle, put on shapewear
Duh,
underneath her wedding dress, just did it for
duh.
me.
And I was like, maybe I always want to give myself like the grace of maybe, you know what, you are a day of wedding coordinator. You understand that shapewear is a given. And you know what? You've been married before. So you know that shapewear is a
Wait, why you
given.
made it seem like I've been married multiple times? You've been married before, like damn. I've only been married once. Jesus.
I wanted to put that emphasis on it because,
Oh, okay. Okay.
black
You gonna
women don't
plan
be
my
getting.
10-year anniversary?
What the fuck? That is coming up.
It is coming up.
Lord, I'm a whole other person, but that's that. Look, man, we have a 5 minute timer for a reason. Anyway, why would you cry and get mad and get in your feelings if somebody's telling you on your wedding day you gonna need some shapewear? Like, girl, like that's wedding 100.
I feel
I
like
don't.
we are 2 for 2 for her crying. She ain't coming back next season. At this point, you could just bring back Amila and call it a day. Amila? What was her name? Anila. You could
Anila,
just bring her
yeah.
back. Her husband was
Like,
quite attractive.
you're upset. I feel like what we lost in them, we get in Jessel and her husband on Roni, and I like it. I'm here for it. If that's the trade off, I'm here for it.
I'm ready
Do
for
you
her to
not watch
go.
Roni? No, the delay is back. No.
Oh no.
hmm
I mean, it's still uploading, so I think we're good.
No, no, it was always good. It's just for
I
me.
see what you mean. Yeah. Well, there's a delay on my end too, so it's fine. I haven't watched Real Housewives. You made me watch that one season where she brought up Black History facts every time they got together, and I was
No, this is like the reband of Roni. And it's fun, it's light, it's it's definitely the palate cleanser you need in between seasons. Like the
oh, okay.
drama, the drama is not that like, oh my god, you stole my cell phone. Oh my god, you never have no food at your function. Like it's nice. It's
Sure.
cute.
I don't know.
You're
I'm scarred. For that to have been the first time that I jumped into Real Housewives of New York and got hit with Black History facts every single time episodes, I was like, I get it. I get it. I get it.
no.
But it was a lot. It was a
You know how there's that meme that's like if you are a white person and you don't like the black franchises of Real Housewives, that's how they know that you not,
Oh, I thought you were going. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to edit this shit.
no, it's one of the, I think like black people have it reversed, where it's like I don't really see it from New Jersey. I don't really care. I'm thinking about my black girls. Those are my stories, and I feel like a lot of people just jumped in on the ass end of like that Roni, not knowing like the shenanigans of Roni already, and like the shenanigans on Roni are well, not now, but old Roni. They were pretty. If you are from a certain background, it would be frustrating, and I will just say that, so you don't have to edit anything properly.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm still trying to work through Potomac. I think I'm finally on episode 2. This
there's
whole
only been two
Juan,
episodes,
God, it feels like so much
or has
longer.
it been three? I don't know.
It just feels like so
um,
much. Like, I don't care about Juan. And I'm gonna fuck this kid up. I don't care about Juan. Is that the 5 minutes? Are we done?
yes,
Good.
we
We're
got
gonna
so
end it on that note.
sidetracked.
I
I
don't
don't
care
care
about
about
Juan and
Juan.
Robin. And that's it.
Um, yeah. Anyway, have you been watching anything else?
I feel like I have, and I don't know what. Oh, we started watching Fear Thy Neighbor again.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched. I've been watching like 6 Feet Under because
Oh,
Netflix
okay.
is buying a lot of HBO property.
I would watch 6 Feet Under if I had the brain capacity that wasn't bigger than a flea. But do you remember a couple years ago? It was like right during peak COVID, because I know we talked about it. Where the guy, this is going to sound horrible when I say this, and forgive me, but it was peak COVID, and the guy ended up killing his neighbors, like pew pew, and then killed himself. And we were like, oh, this is going to be a bomb ass episode to Kill Thy Neighbor or Fear Thy Neighbor. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, because so many
It's on
things have
Fear Thy Neighbor.
happened.
It's on Fear
Oh,
Thy Neighbor this season. Mm
oh wow.
hmm. Mm hmm.
So, um, in the complex where my mom lives, well, not like she's in one of the buildings, but not like in her building. Um, the downstairs neighbor killed the upstairs neighbor and his son over a noise complaint, and I was like, that Fear That Neighbor episode is going to be so. It's going to be so egregious because the victims' families is Haitian, and it's just like I
Oh, I
know
don't know if there's going to be a Fear Thy Neighbor because, ooh,
y'all not. I mean,
y'all fuck with the wrong family.
given how sensationalized everything is and how quickly things end up on Fear That Neighbor, I don't like. We're gonna see an iteration of it, like we didn't get the
Yes.
full families, like either families consent because the murderer like died in a shootout with the cops like the next day or 2 days later. So
What?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, Fear Thy Neighbor. I'm just glad my neighbors are quiet and nobody bothers me
You
because
also have acreage of land, so your neighbors are also like wolves and like
you act
other.
like you cannot see the neighbor across street. Like the way you be describing my home to people, and you make it seem like I just it feel like this is a big forest and there is my house.
Is there
Like you
not a
cannot
big forest like on your property?
behind my house. It is not my property, and you can see my house from the street. Why you acting like that?
Okay, you can see my house from the street. It's also like you got one of those houses that you
Here
got
we
one of those
go.
like John Taffer houses where he be like, "Why you don't have no light on? You know, people can't see this if they driving by fast. Where's your light?" That's what it is. You got
So
one
I
of
did
them.
have lights. I did have lights, and my mower ran them over. So I ain't put them back up because them shit's expensive. So I am thinking of getting fairy lights for the trees that see, you know what? You setting me up. Oh, you setting me up. I ain't doing
Okay,
that. I ain't do
Thistle.
that.
Okay,
Nope.
Thistle. Okay, Thistle. Go
Nope.
Thistle. Go Thistle.
Uh-uh.
Sorry.
I was trying to read a black story, a black novel that I got from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how I feel about like college romance? And I opened
Oh.
it and it was like ding dong, the principal. And I was like, the principal? This is high school. The principal. And I
This is
looked
why.
into it and it was 12 to 17. Of course, there is no trauma because this is a child story. The TikToker lied to me. If you got to do teenage novels to not give me black trauma, we have a problem.
Oh man. It's so I haven't started either of my books yet just because I don't have the brain capacity right now
I feel you on that.
to even if it's just like a silly, goofy, finger poppy novel, I don't have it right now. I wanna my ADD or my tisms is tizzying and my brain is like all over the place. So I just know I won't be able to quiet the voices in my head long enough to like finish a chapter.
Cosmic Kiss is good. That was the alien one that I was telling you about last week. I
Hmm.
finished that this weekend. It was pretty good. It had a nice happy ending. Wasn't too much craziness. I was here for it. It was cute. It was quick. It was short. I've been avoiding starting Iron Flame because the reviews have been all over the place, but I think it's time. So I'm heading down that path.
I don't know. I'm on like season 2 of 6 Feet Under, and I feel that like now that I'm old enough to watch it, it's it's always had like this mystique about it, but I was never allowed to watch it because obviously when it was like 2000.
Shut up.
All
You'll just
right,
start this
whatever.
episode. Shut
All right.
up.
Anyway.
Every episode you gotta be like, because I was like 5 when it came out. I'm so done with you.
I'm sorry. It's just one of those shows because like so many people are on that show, and it's like, damn, I'm so happy to like see your glow up, your transition from being like a background actor or having a bit part or having one line, and now you're like Golden Globe nominated, Oscar nominated. It's like, look at you, I'm so proud of you. But anyway, we can start this episode.
Wait,
We are on.
writer strike is over.
Hmm?
The writer strike is over.
And the actor strike.
That's what I meant to say, the actor strike. I like how you did that. That was smooth. The
Hmm.
actor strike is over. That's what I meant in my heart. You knew. You knew.
So we are on season 3, episode 10. We all scream for ice cream. The original air date is January 18th, 2001. Zach and Chris are the ones who wrote this episode, so it makes sense that you
That
feel
is
this
shit.
way. Yeah. We have a directorial debut by
Yay.
Alan Croker. 82 directorial credits, the last one being Greenleaf in 2019.
Okay.
This
You gotta
lag
love me
is
a good green.
this lag had me like I'm just gonna power through it, and I know once I say Greenleaf, it's just gonna catch up somewhere. Our guest stars this week are James Reed, who finally takes over as Victor Bennett. Ah, Lord, thank God. Because that other one, I couldn't do. He just looks so slimy and gross.
He does. But I do
So,
like James Reed.
James has 70 credits. The last one was Bosch Legacy earlier
Ooh.
this year. We have Paul Wittenberg as Caleb, the most annoying man on earth. 7 credits, the last one in 2016. Robert Clenenden as the ice cream man. And you've known this man has 239 credits. The last
Mm-hmm.
one being Leroy in 2023. And he is one of those he's a character actor.
Yeah.
You're like,
I like him a
oh, he's
lot.
that guy from that thing, and it's like you can name so many different things. We have Bobby Edner as Ari, 59 acting credits. The last one was Final Fantasy NT in 2018, and Ari is the demon child with the vest. So we can just refer to him as Vest.
Is that really? Is that the leader? Is that the leader of the little shits?
Yeah, Erica Mare as Freckles, 18 acting credits. The last one was iCarly in 2010. And Soren Fulton as Jersey, 32 acting credits. The last one in 2014. This is the last time we'll see Emily Thompson. We saw her as Baby Prue in that 70s episode, and we saw her in season 2 with P3H2O. So sad. So sad. The music we heard this episode was Tonight and the Rest of My Life by Nina Gordon, Skin by Collective Soul, Banging Away by Christina Harris, and The Cause by 27. There's not a lot of trivia this week, so I'll just give away right now. Children of the Corn inspired this episode, as well as Who Can Kill a Child. I don't know what that is. I didn't look it up because I didn't want Google or the powers that be to come be like, using my brain. The title also refers to the 1927 song Ice Cream by Howard Johnson. I'm not sure if it's any relation to, the Hojo.
Mm-hmm.
The IMDb synopsis is the sisters trace a mysterious ice cream van operator who abducts children, but the evil may not be who they initially suspect. Meanwhile, the girl's dad, Victor, comes to town for a visit. That was just very weirdly.
It's very TV Guide.
That was just so clunkily. I didn't like it.
You read it well though.
I tried. And the DVD synopsis is Phoebe and Prue battle to save innocent children from the force of the nothing, but must enlist the help of their father to do so. And you know what? I like this. Because I don't know what this is about. We saving children. The ice cream being like a nice surprise for the episode, I guess. It's fun. Is there any thoughts on the top of your head? Anything like that?
I hated this episode.
All right. So this episode starts in P3 and Piper is she's in one of like the alcoves of the club and she's staring at a man who's staring at her and she's just so confused, like, why is this man staring at me? And honestly, I would feel the same way. Why are you staring at me? Like, even if you didn't know that I was the owner of the club, you could buy me a drink. Like, stop staring and do something. Anyway, Phoebe's like, oh, he's not staring. It's not creepy. It's flirting. Get with the times, you old fogey. Piper is not having it. She is my man, my man, my man. Ugh. And then we see Prue, who comes in. This is why I know this episode was weird, because she was not, that dress she had on was not it. And I was like, oh.
It didn't fit her curves as well as other dresses have.
Wardrobe is off. That means the episode is going to be off. But anyway, she comes in. She's like, Piper, where your DJ at? I got the song stuck in my head, and I just trying to get it out. They try to ask her to sing it. She's like, I'm not. Y'all will not have me singing in this club. Absolutely not. Not after last time. We're not. Ask somebody else. But she still wants to get the song out of her head. So she hums it. Phoebe and Piper can't figure it out. And what's next? Because it's all a blur at that point.
So after that happens, isn't that where Justin, they talk about Justin inviting him to a barbecue?
Yes. Okay, yeah. So I'm like, wow, this cold open was so long and it dragged. I don't know.
It was very long.
Okay, so yeah, Justin, who we met in last episode, him and Prue are still like they're still calling. It's still very cute. It's definitely call me after 9 so we can really talk all night.
You think she's like in bed and she's like, no, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Definitely not. They're still playing this point system because I feel that like that's where they like bonded over both having like their Jill Clayton list
Mm.
of rules, and they're like, well, ooh, if a man hangs up on a woman, then I deduct a point. And he's just like, well, if a woman doesn't know in a conversation, I
Oh
deduct
my
a point.
God.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's gross.
That's very gross. Oh,
um,
Essentia, you got money. Oh, look at you.
anyway, I'm a podcaster now. Gotta drink the podcaster's water. Uh, anyway, so they're like trying to beat Prue over the head on like going to this barbecue. It's a family reunion, and like, yes, I know I've known Justin since high school, but he hasn't been an active member in my life since high school. So it's kind of weird that you're inviting me to your family reunion, and they're like, you just don't like families because ours is shit because our grandmother kept marrying men after man after man. Mom, she bit the dust a little earlier than we would like. Our dad also abandoned us. We don't really have really good, like, familial bonds. So you don't really like to see other people with good familial bonds because it'll hurt your feelings. And she's like, not that serious. Me and him just started talking. I don't need to meet your grandma.
This
I don't want the recipe to your grandma's peach cobbler. Or whatever that
Miss
sound is.
Ma'am, you have lost your mind. You just kept getting more and more unhinged.
I don't
I
know. I mean, that's what it was. I'm like, whatever, what? Because this episode was so like, it was fast, but it also was slow.
So
And
while all this is happening, there's an ice cream truck that is being it's a pedo ice cream truck. That's the first thing I thought. Like, what kind of pedo ass ice cream truck is this? And it's playing the same tune that our girl was humming earlier.
hmm
But it's really late at night. And the first thing I thought was like, where's this little boy's parents? Why is Jimmy walking around the streets with no parents? And when Jimmy gets up to the ice cream truck, the man in the truck offers him some ice cream, and then this wind pulls the boy into the truck, and
no,
I was
oh
like,
yeah, no. He was like, do you want some ice cream? And he was like, yeah. And then the guy in the truck was like, you didn't say please, and
"Right,
pulls
what
him in.
makes him?"
And it was like, oh, you are in. This is a bad man.
Like next investigation. Tell me that's not some unsolved mystery shit.
Oh, it definitely is. It's and it's like, okay, you're laying the plot that like this man is nefarious. He's a bad guy. We should be on the lookout for the creepy man in a van. And aren't we always on the lookout for the creepy man in a van?
Dude, we went to the North Carolina Zoo on Saturday, right? And on the
Mm-hmm.
route to North Carolina Zoo, there was this like broken down house, and it had like mad, I wouldn't say garbage, but like scrap metal and broken down cars in the front. And it had a sign and it said, Beagle puppies for free.
Nope, definitely not. I would have been like, Beagles. No, I don't want that loud ass dog in my house. Absolutely not. I live
That's the
in
only thing I was like, what kind of pedo is this? I was showing Bella. He was like, what? And it's going to be on Next 48. Watch.
no, absolutely not. Never a beagle. I remember when I was working at the shelter doing like the events, and I would come up with pamphlets for every dog that I had available for adoption. And if you lived in an apartment, I was like, no beagle for you. Absolutely not.
Hold on, hold on,
This
hold on. The only thing you took from that story was that you didn't want beagles. So what you saying if it was another dog and your ass would have been snatched up? Because the only thing you took from that story was,
Yes,
I don't like Pico.
absolutely. Like, I don't. Was there anything else to take from that story?
Absolutely not.
I'm confusion.
Clearly. So going back into Charm. So Prue is having hot like night sweats. This child is her whole face was like wet to the point where you could see like they had it like, and this is how you know we watching 4K now. Like you could see her mustache.
You know what?
My girl.
When you sweat, and sometimes it just makes things glisten. We can't always fault her. Okay.
It was glistening. It was glistening, and she was having this very fitful dream about being a child in a snow-covered playground. And it took me a while to realize that it was Prue. I was like, "Who's this girl?" I was like, "Oh wait, that's what I'm." Oh, she got premonition powers like BB.
You're so annoying.
And she's screaming for help, and her
Hmm.
dad ends up rescuing her, and then her alarm clock goes off. And I was like, "Damn, was she like?" Was it a nightmare because she was being rescued, or was it a nightmare because she was asking for her daddy? Like,
Both. Um. So she like we see her start her day. She grabs the paper from outside,
mhm.
and she hears the song in the distance. And she's what is going on? And I feel like at that point you kind of have to like put two and two together that it's like the ice cream man, but because if you hear it outside, like that's the only thing I'm gonna think. I'm gonna think of good humor if I hear like the jingle jingle outside. But it's also 7, 8 a.m. So why is Mr. Mr. Humor? Why is good humor outside?
And what kind of like creepy ass song is that? Like, why is it such a
I
like?
mean, the real song ain't any better.
I
If
mean, the
you
real
think
song
it's,
is racist, but at least you know it got a little peppy beats.
I can excuse racism.
But the
Um,
pedos, I mean, if we're gonna excuse one or the other, right? Like, I think in this situation, if we're talking about an ice cream truck, I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't sound like it's trying to take my children. Like that's the one I'm gonna go with.
anyways, so she goes back into the kitchen. Phoebe is, and I actually took a picture of this. I was like, "What are you looking up?" Because there's absolutely nowhere like you're Ask Jeevesing or Binging or Yahooing or whatever the equivalent to Google is now. But you're definitely not doing that. And what she has is just like a note it's an email, and it subject Cole Turner, current occupation assistant district attorney, birth 1885, father Benjamin state assemblyman, mother Elizabeth, demon, and then open parentheses and close parentheses, still alive? Question mark? Exclamation point. Alter ego. Balthazar. Demonic soldier of fortune. Uh and it's just like known powers, the ability to it got cut off. But anyway, these are all things that are in the Book of Shadows. The only thing that's not in the Book of Shadows is this little point that says evil allies, the triad, they don't exist anymore because he killed them. The invisible demon, and that's so bad that he got reduced to the invisible demon. Okay. And Vinceris, lesser demon.
I feel like she just like took everything from the Book of Shadows and then put it on a piece of paper. Like
No, she literally has this in like a file on the
that's what I'm
computer.
saying. Like, all right, okay, PB. I mean,
And
she's longing for her love. It's just it's. I'm
I guess
annoyed
this is
now.
her
This man needs
hiding
to
it.
pop up.
This is her hiding it because she can't be in the attic staring at the Book of Shadows any longer because Prue and Piper would be suspicious.
Don't be
Why?
suspicious. Don't be
Why are you
suspicious.
still holding on to him? Why do you still care? He gone and he ain't ever coming back. So she's just staring at her notes file.
They ain't take no pictures together, no nothing. Like, it's pitiful.
Not this time, but the second time around, they definitely did. They definitely, the second time around, have an Andy Prue type picture. And it's so annoying because she's like in a poncho with a matching beanie, like pawing at him. It's like, oh, gross. Get out of here.
So while Prue is getting ready, I guess, it's the instant messages back in those days. I
Yeah,
guess so, right? From an
that
old
was a
friend
thing.
pops up, and Prue was like, "What's going on? What's that? What you doing?" And
Well,
she was so oh my god, Phoebe.
she quickly closes the laptop and is just like, nothing. Prue calls her on her bullshit and is like, nothing normally means a boy, so spill.
Which I think
And
is really sweet, because
yeah.
last season this wouldn't have went down that way.
And before Phoebe could come up with a lie, Piper comes in and is like, I got something that's more bizarre than whatever you're talking about. Because that's the normal way. Like I'm being extremely nitpicky because she enters in like, I got something that's more bizarre. Well, and the sisters do make fun of her, but yeah, it's more
But it's
bizarre.
weird because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, she's gonna talk about a demon, and she talks about the fact that her dad or they dad is in town and has been seen by one of their friends.
But this is a friend that hasn't seen their father since whoever was in the first grade. So I'm assuming Piper. Yeah, it would have to be Piper.
It's
So,
just, I mean, it's how you know your father's a piece of shit. He don't
I
let you
mean,
know.
it's the first time in a year since we've seen him. So, or we've known that he would be in town. So it's weird.
So you just sent some flowers like, hey, girls, I know we got off, we ended on a bad foot last time I was here. I am around if you would be a good parent. The fuck?
I would say Shannon Prue doesn't care at all. She
No,
like,
no.
she's like, all
She don't give
right.
a shit. Piper though got daddy issues. Piper got severe daddy issues.
Oh my god, and we see it on display. Like you thought Phoebe's daddy issues were bad.
Do you think that's why she's with Leo?
So, pausing really quickly. I was on the live Saturday, uh, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Ratchetron one on TikTok, and we were just talking about how Phoebe's abandonment issues and her daddy issues led her to Cole. But yeah, there's also some Piper in there. There are there are two sides of the same coin. It's just Phoebe-ness covers up a lot of like that my man, my man, my manness that Piper has about Leo.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like if Prue lasted a little bit longer, it would have been fully fleshed out. But yeah, I mean, I think you have a point where all of these girls, and not just abandonment, right? But like they're basically orphans. Like their whole line has
Yeah,
been wiped the fuck out. And then daddy over here just being weird as shit. It's
yeah.
okay, dad. Thanks.
So Piper was like being super, super nice and like, hey, can I walk you out? Ooh, sweet, sweet, sweet. And Phoebe reopens her laptop to continue talking.
It's Phoebe. I, even when she doesn't have to have secrets, she still has them. And this is why she will always be attracted to the dark side.
I feel that like I understand the secret considering yeah, I understand the secret. I won't give her too much grief because you can't tell Piper without her telling Prue. Yeah. I mean, I feel like she's really good at keeping secrets until the plot calls for it because we had no idea.
Right, right, right.
we had we had absolutely no idea that this was a thing.
So Piper wants Prue to go with her to go see her dad, but Prue don't really want to go, and so obviously she's the excuse that she has a photo shoot on Nob Hill. Because let's be honest, if Prue really wanted to do something, it'd have been fuck that photo shoot. Like,
As we see later on.
right, right. So Prue's on the elevator. Now she hears a little girl humming the tune. She still can't get it out of her head. The elevator stops, but the little girl gets out of the elevator before Prue can ask her what the tune is. And then now we see Piper at the Bay Tech building.
Mm-hmm. The original
She
WeWork building.
she looks like, or she is reminiscent of, you know when like, when a woman knows her man is cheating and is trying to catch him.
Yeah, like she's at the hotel. My husband has a reservation here. I just don't remember the room number. Can you let me know what room he's in? But instead of that, she's like, hey, my dad works in this building. Can you just let me know what office he's in? And this poor, and like, before she even asks that question, she rambles on like, "Oh, everybody's on lunch, and you have to work at your desk, blah 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 blah." And the girl was like, I don't get paid enough to deal with you, you fake nice
Right? She was like,
person."
stop trying to schmooze me and just tell me what you want. Like, I hate that. I hate that.
Right. So, um, she's like, "My dad, Victor Bennett, works here. Can you let me know what like office he's in?" And while she's like, she's definitely hopefully scanning the lobby, hoping to catch a glance of her dad, and she sees somebody, and by the build, that don't look like your daddy. From the side profile, from no kind of profile doesn't look like any kind of Victor Bennett. Not the
She said
old
it was
one,
a
not the
white
new
man with
one.
gray hair. It had to be on daddy.
And your daddy was more like he had more brown than gray. So I don't know. Long story short, she harasses this poor man, and he takes a nice like, leave me alone, lady. And then the other lady, the receptionist, tells her that there's no Victor Bennett that works here. Get out my face, get out my building before I call security. Harassing people in the damn lobby. What's wrong with you?
I mean, she ain't go that far.
But you know she wanted to in her head. In
In
her
her head, she
head.
was like, I don't get paid enough for these crazy folks. So now, what? Prue is on lunch?
Well, yeah, Prue and Phoebe are on lunch, and Phoebe's trying to talk to her about her obvious daddy issues, and Prue is dodging every one of her questions. She just, leave me alone. There's no bigger story. There's nothing. There's no deep wound other than I just don't want to go. It has nothing to do with my daddy issues or a lack thereof. Leave me alone. And as they're talking, she gets distracted by a girl who is this little girl who's humming the song, and who's finally happy. She's like, I can get my answers to what song this is. She asks the girl. The girl doesn't respond. She just very creepily just points to the upcoming ice cream truck that's like coming down the street. Prue, sorry, Phoebe is ecstatic. Like, finally, you mystery solved. Now I can go back to like psychoanalyzing you.
Right.
Prue is unable to let it go because it's winter. Why is there ice cream? Where's her mother? What's going on? And instead of paying attention to Phoebe, she continues to go. And even though she is saying these things out loud, Phoebe is confused as to why all those things together is weird. Like, where where her mom at? That's like the barest of minimums. But you never had a mother, so how would you know? See, I caught myself, and I see that's just how it's either going to be your rant or it's going to be a depressing hard stop. Anyway, um, they follow the truck. as the truck then pulls into an alley, which is an obvious sign that this is a raper van.
Right. Why are you doing ice cream in front of everybody? Like the ice, like,
And he don't even and
man,
he doesn't even like park the truck properly. He puts it on like a cattle corner. And it's just, this is weird. He
it's
struts to
weird.
pull the girl in. Right as the charm ones pull up, they pull her out, and he comes out of his van like, oh, so there's three of you guys. I won't use my muscle at all. I'll just use this like off-screen vacuum that sucks you guys into my van. Uh, and they just they disappear into the back of the van.
Yeah.
Is this annoying as Caleb time?
Not yet.
Okay.
So after they get sucked into the van, they end up in this snow covered playground that is very reminiscent of what Prue was fitfully dreaming about earlier in the episode. And then the ice cream man asks them who they are, and then they run away. And then that's when they run into the little boy, Ari.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, letting them know about the nothing, and the nothing is going to take them, and you have to get away before they get pulled into the nothing. And then that's when that little girl, they go to a hiding place, and the little girl runs out of the hiding place, and then nothing gets her. And they're like, oh my God. And I was like, damn, girl, you should have just stayed in the hiding place.
What is that Jordan Peele movie that just came out?
Nope.
Nope. Yes. This is literally the plot of Nope, just with scary children.
I have never seen a Jordan Peele movie.
Okay, moving on before we get canceled. So,
I've
as this
seen
is
pieces of Get Out, but I haven't seen the whole thing. And y'all be ruining it for me on Twitter. So there's no need, like, y'all be doing whole papers and essays and theses on it. I don't have to watch it. I just wait for one of y'all to watch it, and by Sunday, I'll know the entire plot. It's good.
or back in the day, a BuzzFeed listicle.
Does anybody even read BuzzFeed anymore? Goodness. Anyway,
They still have
so
their fingers in things. They're just not as like BuzzFeedy about it. Pause. Uh, where are
so
we?
Rebecca
Well, at this
finally
point,
introduced
yeah, she said
himself.
she called Phoebe, she called Prue, she called the magazine, and they hadn't heard from her since lunch. So please call me back. And at that point, why weren't you just calling Leo? But I think she was calling Leo, and he was just ignoring her.
Yeah,
There's
because later
evidence,
he was like, "Bitch, why you calling me while I'm at work?"
but I feel that like, oh, we'll get there when we get there. So Caleb is just being mad creepy, and like, I don't. I just want to be done with him. I don't want to talk about him any more than I have to. So we're just going to wrap him up really quickly right now. So Caleb is being super weird and suspicious, just asking the weirdest questions. So do you and your sisters hang out? Like, do you guys do things together? Are y'all special sisters? Like, you're so. I understand his whole point of not wanting to expose magic or wanting to come up sounding like a crazy person.
But there's been other ways that people have done it, and again, this is a fault on the uppers. Like, if you knew that this was this man's end game, what?
Matter of fact, I was going to get to that point when we get to that point. But yeah, like if you knew that he was the new ice cream man, why wouldn't you tell Leo like, hey, this is a new ice cream man, so they can prepare themselves? But that's neither here nor there.
But
Also,
they
also,
also don't. Mm,
but also,
okay.
also, even if you didn't want to expose magic, everybody knows them as the charmed ones. So wouldn't you just say something along the lines of, "Are you and your sister charmed?"
They didn't set this man up. He will not be an ice cream man.
Like
Piper rejects him. Was like, get out of my face, you stupid bitch. I don't know who you are. Get out of my face. Bye.
and then goes right back to calling her sisters.
Right. She was like this. She was like, can't you see this is the wrong time? Like you keep popping up during the wrong time. Which I felt that. I felt that. So we're back in the playground and Ari is telling Prue and Phoebe that they have gotten pulled into the truck, and since they've been pulled into the truck, they've been on the run from nothing. And they're like walking through the playground, and Phoebe puts her hand on one of the playground toys, and she gets a vision of Prue's experience in the ice cream truck. Clearly, Prue has been here before, and she was rescued by their dad. We go back into P3, and Piper calls for Leo. And then this is where Leo kind of pissed me off because I don't give a fuck about none
I
of your
thought we were in the
charges.
manor.
Are we in the manor?
I
How
think
we
we were
get
in
to
the
the manor so
manor.
quickly?
Because she didn't stay at work when she couldn't find her sisters.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, Leo shows up, and Leo got a little attitude, little stink ass attitude, talking about you can't be calling me while I'm at work. Like,
And
bitch, I'm a charm
honestly,
one.
like, you're not wrong at all, but I feel like Piper would be the type of girl she would like if Leo, or as the Ratchet Charm one would call him, Lily. If Lily was an Uber driver, Piper would be in the front seat, being like, "I guess we're both driving Uber today."
I'm looking at the time, so I don't want to go on a rant. But if he was an Uber driver, he'd be making money. So there's that.
Yeah, he definitely got no snacks in the car. He definitely got a roll down window.
he got the plastic shower curtain in the back.
The fake COVID plastic.
Yes, I
And
just don't.
you never get into your destination. You can like you got in the car at 11:52. You got to your destination at 1 o'clock, but you have no idea where that time went because Piper done froze your ass and her and Leo are arguing.
Like for him to like slide up in my house where I pay the bills at, I am like it don't matter about none of your charges. First of all, like it don't matter because I am a charmed one.
They're
How
both
dare you,
equally
you
annoying.
raggedy bitch? I understand that, but I'm always gonna stick up for my girl Piper. How dare you? And then when she's explaining to him the situation, he didn't want to do nothing. And she was like, "Well, can you just like do your supernatural scan to just make sure my sister like you are a white lighter for the charmed ones, not just for your girl, but for the charmed ones." And I gotta argue with you about doing it, man. So after all that happens, we find out that this white lighter cannot sense Prue nor her sister.
No, her sister. Her
They not
sister
be
don't even got a
found.
name no more.
I'm just, I mean, it's PB, but I'm just saying, like, you couldn't, you had to do all of that to be wrong, right? Like, all of that to be wrong.
I want to like fast track this episode so
Fast
quickly.
track it.
So, spoiler alert: the elders told this man, "Yo, you wildin'. Why would you bring these two people in the fucking van? Are you out of your mind?" So, it's a this episode is full of men who don't know how to do anything because you can lead them to the exit of the ice cream truck without being so weird and awkward about it, especially if they told you from jump to let them go. This episode is full of potholes. It
And
doesn't
he
make
was still
any
being like
sense.
super weird. The ice cream man was being really weird. He was skulking. So we're going to just super fast track this. So the girls end up getting these kids out. Even though the ice cream man didn't want that to happen, they find out that if you go up the slide is the portal to be outside, and that's how the girls get all these kids out. Ah. However, the
Wow, I'm
pedo
so
guy,
happy. You gotta put a fucking headphone alert.
sorry, the pedo guy is not really a pedo guy, and he's not a bad person. It is see that's why you don't listen to children because children will always set you on the wrong path. Like, come on.
I know you don't want to hear this, so I will phrase it this way. On the hit Tracy Ellis Ross comedy Blackish, there was an episode where her unnamed husband went to work and saw a little white girl in the elevator by herself. and he immediately got off the elevator
Uh,
and
that is one of my favorite episodes, I have to admit. When I say it was so hard to separate the
the art.
man from the character. Oh my gosh.
But
But
that's
yes, that's very
exactly
reminiscent.
like you never know what happened. So that's exactly what I thought about while this episode was going down. So JK, the kids are the bad guys. Uh Vess, aka Ari, uses his powers to pretty much murder or maim the ice cream man, whatever comes first. Uh
But not the
Prue
ice cream man that they should have murdered, just some random ice cream truck driver.
no, we didn't get. Oh, wait, we're fast tracking it because Phoebe and Prue get home. They explain so everyone could be so confused because we're like fast tracking it, but also picking up at the weirdest spots. I feel like Loki and I'm time slipping. Anyway, uh, they realize they fucked up. They go back to the manor. They're like, "Hey, we fucked up. Figure it out." Which is weird. This is okay. This doesn't make any sense. If the powers that be told the ice cream man, y'all fucked up, let the charm ones out, why wouldn't the powers that be then let the elders know to let Leo know so they can start figuring this out by the time the charm ones get back to the house? You see how this don't make no sense? If you pick one little part, everything falls apart. Anyway, uh, they try to track down. Sorry, no, we're missing a part. Phoebe tells them about the premonition she had. They're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna call Dad." P3 is a neutral zone because Prue don't want him in her home.
So just to back up really quickly, the reason why they have to call dad is because only a mortal can open up the ice cream truck, which does not make any sense. But the ice cream truck man can only be a mortal, and a mortal is the only person who can open up the
It
ice cream
does
truck.
make sense, and because if the nothing doesn't discriminate between good or evil, just blocking out magic should make sense altogether.
But that doesn't make sense because look what happens to the ice cream man later on in the episode.
Look, man, I'm just saying, if
It don't make
everybody,
zero sense.
whatever.
Why is the ice cream man? Why does he have to be mortal? What is the background of the ice cream man? How do you get, like, none of this was explained.
What
How do
is
you
the
get
seventh
dosage?
son of the seventh son? We don't know these things, okay?
So after they finally decide that P3 is going to be neutral ground, we find out that one of the demons likes to kill. He's just killing ice cream man people just because he wants to kill ice cream man people. And Vest is like, "You dumb bitch. Do you see a portal inside of this ice cream truck? No, because you're a dumb bitch. And can you stop? Because we have a mission to kill the ice cream man and the right one. So just pay attention, you dumb bitch." And I was like, damn,
Somebody
y'all
on Twitter
teenagers are
said
mean.
that in an alternate universe, those are Phoebe's kids, and Vess is definitely her kid with Cole, because that child, that demon spawn, definitely was like, I already maimed the ice cream man, so who are you killing? He's already been taken care of, and there's no portal back here, so you just over here leaving there's dead bodies all over the place for people to fucking track. What's wrong with you? Let's destroy the truck so we don't have to worry about it, and then we can kill as many humans as we want. And if that is not a Halliwell Turner child, I don't know what is.
You talking about that's that baby that didn't survive in her womb? Is that what you
On topic, but off topic, the last episode of 6 Feet Under I watched, one of the main characters was being confronted with all of the aborted children he made girls get. And, whew, the cemetery.
Okay. So we're MP3. Caleb arrives again. Pepper's like, "Bitch, why the fuck you keep showing up?" And then Leo shows up, and then Leo's like, "Caleb, you have a phone call."
Why would
That's
he have
not
a
weird
phone
to
call?
nobody.
Why was he
That's
able to
not
go
weird.
here? Maybe this was the land of this is still the land of beepers. People still have beepers,
But
and
she said a phone call. He didn't say, call me,
you
beat me if you
right.
want
I
to
wish.
reach me. No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Victor's still
I
playing
mean,
deadbeat dad. Victor don't want to help nobody. He was like, I don't fight demons. That's on you. That's why I got 3 of y'all. Fuck y'all. They finally get him to agree
no.
to help
Okay,
them with the
so
ice cream truck
let's
because
let's
of
pause. Let's pause and
we can
actually
pause.
dissect this because this needs dissection. I understand that this episode sucks, but we do have to expound on it.
Go ahead.
We realize what happened. So it's always been very vague why Victor left, and I don't know if that is because they didn't know what if they wanted him to be a good guy, because he definitely wasn't a good guy in Thank You for Not Morphing. But he seems to be like a good guy now.
This was
And
a dumb reason. This was a dumb ass reason. You
so so Prue had the flu or some childhood disease, who knows, because they always sick for some reason.
because she probably went to daycare.
Anyway, instead of being in a child's place, she leaves her bed and here's the ice cream truck outside, and then she opens the door and sees a child. Because back in the 70s, you dead ass could just snatch a child from the middle of the street. None of that alleyway parking for your hide. So instead of like calling her dad or screaming, Prue herself runs to try to save the kid. As Prue is getting sucked into the truck again, her dad like saves her, and Grams comes home and is just like, "Oh, you whack ass mortal! You can't even protect your own kids. You're horrible. Either be useful and get a Glock, or get the fuck out of this house." And he got out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you made a mistake. You let Grams bully you to never see, like, to barely see your child. Like, you were looking for a reason to be a deadbeat dad. That is wild to me. You were looking for a reason to be a deadbeat dad. Like, get a Glock, figure out a protection spell with Grams, make it work. But you were looking, because even as adults, you're still a deadbeat dad, bitch. Like, fuck it. I'm not taking that. You know what? And that's how I know a man wrote this, because a man wrote that and
It's
was like,
two men who wrote this
that's
episode,
a good
Zach
reason
and
to not be
Chris.
a dad. That's a good
Um,
reason to not be in these girls'
have
lives. And
you
we took
not
that.
seen? Have you not seen the auntie TikToks where they're like, "Oh, I'm the auntie on the dad side of the family, and I miss my little nephew, I miss my little niece, and I can't see my niece or my nephew because his daddy a piece of shit, but I miss him. And you knew he was a piece of shit too before you had a baby by him. Now why can't I see the baby? Wah, 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 wah,
I am
wah."
not. I'm not. I was on Jack Harlow TikTok for a little bit, and then this
I
morning
was
the black
too.
girl, a
I
black
was
girl was
too.
like, "These are babies," and I was like, "Absolutely not, absolutely not."
Jay's
But
McAvoy look alike. I just want to see you with a knife. I just want to see something with a knife.
he's, the fact that that man is 22 and he looks older than I am, that's all I gotta
That
say.
means that somewhere in the lineage ain't clean. All right, but but
Not somewhere in the lineage he held slaves. What is wrong with you?
I, I that's white people in America. What you talking about? What's wrong with me? That's I am tired of me spitting facts and y'all being like, "Oh,
It has
what's
nothing to do with
wrong
you
with
spitting
you?"
facts. It's just that it be coming from nowhere. All of a sudden was that he aged like milk to like barely be able to drink, and you look like that. That's all I'm saying.
All
I
right,
mean,
and is there not a common joke in the black community that the whites age worse when there's racism within? That's all I was saying. That is all I was equating the
you
two.
said something in the lineage ain't clean, which means he probably got some curse because his ancestors were horrible. I was even more disgusted with myself because, like, not only to like thirst after a youngin, but a youngin that looked older than me, I was disgusted with myself. Like, sir, drink some Bloom or something in the
Oh,
Daily Harvest.
it's like DC Young Fly and Monique in that Christmas movie. And I understand sometimes you gotta be a cougar, you know. What you
Oh,
gonna
that
do?
movie.
Deal with Greg's old shrinking balls all married to medicine? Or the 22-year-old James McAvoy look-alike? Which one you want?
Neither.
You don't want to be in a support group for other women dating older men?
No. Especially after Phaedra was like, oh no, they balls drop like titties. I'm good. I'm okay.
Oh God.
And
So,
his voice sound like if I'm dating a grandpa, he better look like Santa Claus or something like that. Like ho ho ho, here's some money with the ho ho ho. Not ho ho ho. I'm good. Like
oh God. Anyway, getting back to this episode,
the
thanks for
household looking for the truck.
the truck has been impounded. Phoebe and Piper go one way to follow the demons to figure out what they're doing. Prue and her father figure out to get to the truck and do that. Because, you know, Prue is the strongest and you're an immortal. Might as well take your strongest man with you. They get back in the truck. The ice cream man is like, yo, my bad. As soon as I caught y'all, they were like, throw that fish back out. It's an egger! It's an egger! Sorry. I'm also on lobster fisherman talk. So
The amount of editing that I am going to have to do.
I said
And
egger.
that's not
Egger.
what it sounded like. That is
That's
not what it sounded like.
that's
Miss Blair.
exactly what I
And
said.
I figured that now that you would have to edit, you would behave yourself.
And I was behaving myself by saying egger. I'm a, I'm going to do this video with the video of that man really living through this, because he said the same thing and everybody with his comments like, what did you say? And look at you attacking me. Anyway, the man sacrifices himself. Well, before he sacrifices himself, he gives them a part to restart the ice cream truck. Then nothing gets them. uh Piper and Phoebe are like on their way to the truck to like and you can tell I'm getting so over this episode because the use of the word like is coming out a lot. Um, Phoebe and Piper try to fight the demons or play offense, you know. A good defense is a strong offense type shit. Either
Piper
way,
gets knocked the fuck out. I feel like this season starts Piper getting knocked the fuck out every other episode.
there's so many things happening. My chair is actively sinking. The Essentia bottle pops. You screaming at Piper. I'm just like, I can't take it.
It's
Anyway,
too much. It's too much.
um, Phoebe pulls her body to the side. Prue and Dak come out the truck. Prue plays offense, swatting these kids away. And he's just like, I know I can fix this because after spending so much time working on your mom's car, I know I have an idea what to do with this. And even though he has an idea what to do with it, he like stares at it and is like, maybe I don't know what to do with this. Prue saves him from Vest, aka Ari, because he was about to attack Dad. So that is Prue, you know, evening the score. Because in our haste to go through this episode, we missed the point where when Dad and Prue were in the ice cream supernova dead space, whatever it's called. Prue almost gets sucked up by the nothing on during their escape, and Dad says, "I'll never let you go, Prue. You my daughter. I love you. Roof, roof. You know, all that good shit." So feelings. He gets the truck starting up again. It starts playing the song. the demon children get sucked into the van. Uh, as that's happening, Leo and creepy ass Caleb show up, and he's just like, "Oh, yay, man! You guys fixed my van, woohoo!" And she was like, "Oh, so you didn't want to fuck? You just wanted some magic? Oh, why didn't you say so?" And he comes up with the line of being like, "Well, I can't just say, hey, have you seen my mystical demon child catching van? Because that sounds crazy."
Yes. 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 Because they are the charmed one. You clearly knew where the fuck to go. You clearly knew. And
Don't they have some like 411 directory?
Wikipedia. I don't know.
Like,
This is why before the charmed one, the triad was knocking out these bitches left and right. Because this is just confusion. This is confusion and a
within the
mess.
same department. Y'all know how. This just reminds me of how serial killers that operate within New York get away with so much
I'm
shit.
mad you said that the uppers are the NYPD. And on that
Because,
note, oh,
no, because back in the day, precincts never used to talk to each other. Bronx wouldn't talk to Brooklyn. Brooklyn wouldn't talk to Queens. Manhattan wouldn't talk to like Staten. And like if you did something in Brooklyn and you went to Manhattan, you were fine. And that's what
I
the
mean,
stuff.
that's every police department.
You know, I was really because you know Eric Adams is in the news. You know, FBI raiding his. I was trying to keep it local.
Every time something happens with Eric Adams, I send it to Phoebe and I'd be like, Phoebe, is this your mayor? Embarrassing.
Anyway, so like there is absolutely no way that the powers that be let the ice cream man know that he fucked up and didn't let the elders know where their most powerful witches were. Like it just doesn't make sense. But if you think about how law enforcement works in the United States, then you're like, it does make
I mean, and I
sense.
think too, like when we start to see the elders later on, it all makes sense. Like, are you shocked and surprised that it's a bungling mess? No, not at all.
And it's like, why are you? I'm like, I'm anticipating that over on YouTube. I'm just like anticipating people in the comments being people in the comments, and I'm just like, why are you booing me? I'm right, and just linking, linking a video of
I mean, it's true though. It
like
is true.
law enforcement does not talk to each other
We
at
watched
all.
some episode where the girl was murdered and it passed through same department passed through like 3 different cold case hands. It's the one where the cop killed her ex-lover's wife
Yeah,
and it took them like 30 years to solve the case. Like that's yeah.
it's like yeah,
So
y'all don't talk to each other. So of course, like.
that's it. I don't know. I just felt like the demon kids trope was weird. Caleb being which means that he had to have known that the new guy or the current guy was going to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
It none of it doesn't it's very reminiscent of a season 1 episode.
Yeah, it's feeling very Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. And I wish we could have, like, and honestly, this episode is wrapped. Who gives a shit? I wish we could have, I'm going right into, like, tweaks we would have made.
Oh, see, I've already done that. See, I was with you. I was with you.
I'm stating it, obviously. I would have fleshed out more why Prue heard the song because
Right.
why she can still hear the song, I should say, because yeah, she heard this as a
She's not a
kid.
demon.
I know, I understand that, but she heard it as a kid, and you know what they say about kids, and you know their special hearing and their special eyes. But because she had that in her, like, go that route, because she is actually like almost kidnapped. She's been marked by the van or whatever. Do
Yeah, because it doesn't
something.
make any sense. It doesn't. None of it makes any sense. It doesn't.
Do something
That
with
don't make no
that.
sense. The ice cream man don't make any sense. The fact that this man found a reason, the most pitiful reason to go get milk and never come back, like get out of my face. I'd rather they have stuck with the con artist versus a man who was like, Grams hurt my feelings and I can't do this anymore. Fuck out of here.
I mean, is that any different to what's going on
Oh,
today? Random man in Atlanta.
all I'm saying is I'm not supposed, I just can't, I can't have respect for this man. Just, it's like,
I mean,
ugh.
we have to like it because the girl swallowed it, and he obviously becomes a fixture throughout the rest of the series.
I don't
Because
have to like shit. You can't tell me. You can't tell me what I have to like. Okay? And that is clear by all season 2. You ranted about bum ass Leo.
here I am finding my place in Zen, and you keep wanting to bring me back.
Because you're not going to tell me that I have to like this man when I had to listen to you rant
Every
for
time I wanna
22
leave, something keeps
episodes.
pulling me back, to. Yo, I will start singing Chiggy on this podcast. Don't start with me. You
If
lucky,
you were my baby.
you lucky. I can't afford to play Chiggy off my phone right now.
If you were my lady.
Anyway, yeah, this episode was so wonky. Like, is it as bad as Feats of Clay, the seventh son of the seventh son?
You
Like,
and the 7 I'm the 7.
you know why? Because during the live that episode came up, first of all, the Ratchet Charm one, love him up, love him down. Me and him was just taking turns ripping Leo to shreds. Just like, this man sucks, and here are the many reasons why he sucks. And he be having reasons, and like, you know what? This reminds me of episode 2, season 2, where he said this dumb shit. Yeah, no, we never see it for
That
Leo.
old black magic.
Yeah, man. Oh.
You know what? It's up. Like I said before, it's very reminiscent of, which is why we have brought back a very chaotic style of podcast. Because I was watching this like, oh God, now I gotta like report on this. Like I have to sit down and talk about it because it was
Yeah, I'm gonna be so
horrible.
honest. I watched this episode 3 times, and I keep having to ask you to like pull me back in. Like, I don't know where we're at.
It's
And
it's
like,
so bad.
unlike with like Coyote Piper, I only watched that twice, and
And you enjoyed Coyote Piper.
I did. Like, I kept finding things to do during this episode. Like, wow, dishes definitely do need washing. Like,
Oh
oh,
damn.
you know what? I should clean my stove right about now. All right, let's do. Like, I just kept getting. It
It was I
wasn't.
I sighed a deep breath when it was over. So I feel you.
Ooh, but next week is
Next week
a
is my
episode with
baby boy,
Natalie. Sorry.
Natalie.
Yeah. Isn't that what?
Natalie.
Yeah, it's the episode where Leo gets yelled at by his coworker.
Oh, I was thinking because Steve Valentine was in it.
Uh,
Nigel Townsend from Crossing Jordan.
yeah, I was like, oh man, like this is like last week we had Rainn Wilson, and it's just like, no, you not the. It don't. You don't hit the way a demon hits. He hits like the way a demon hits so well.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
fact that you just see him later on Crossing Jordan with the
I love
same
Crossing Jordan.
with the same
Yes. So I was looking him up when you were talking,
hmm
and this man is still fine. Oh my goodness. This
because something
and
in that
he's about
bloodline
to
is
be
clean.
like, how is this man still fine? And he has really nice teeth. Like I don't know if they were done, but they're not like chiclet teeth, but he
Now,
has very nice
I
teeth.
feel like people who get their teeth done is very like the size may come in like they may offer different sizes, but the shade they only have one shade. They only have one shade, and it's chiclet. And it don't
I'm gonna need
matter.
you to rate this episode. You are wild.
It don't matter. The gum to teeth ratio, they always gonna be checked.
So do you think, we're gonna take this offline because I don't. I,
A
next.
girdle, a fucking girdle is. I wish
I'm
you.
telling you, 2 out of 2, they have made this girl cry, and I'm disgusted.
And like I said, if you really felt some way about Quad, don't hold your engagement party in Quad's house. Rent a fucking hall. It's Atlanta, you whack ass fucking bitch. There's always a hall. Anyway, I rate this episode 3 out of 10 fuck ass bobs because I can't wait for this fuck ass bob for next week.
I am going to rate this episode 1 melted ice cream cone.
You know what? I like the Victor that we get. I like that they changed his name from Victor Halliwell to Victor Bennett. I like the improvement, which is what the 1.5 point comes in. I guess the other
See,
half.
but I don't think it's an improvement. I'd rather the con artist versus the man who was like, taking care of my daughter is too much. Oh my God, Grams yelled at me. Like, I come here for fantasy, okay? Not for real life TikTok bullshit, okay? I don't need true trauma.
The other half a point comes from. I'm not gonna lie, the little kids were terrifying, especially Vest. But like, they're also children, so fun. Like the kids were fun.
Having a child in middle school, them kids just need ass whippings.
You
That's
see,
all.
that's what it is. You a mama, so you couldn't take this episode as lightly as I could. 3 terrorizing children, 1 with a sweater vest, 2 with pigtails, and 1 who just loves ice cream. All right, whatever. I guess. Woo! Get out of here. But yeah, that's it. That's the show. Some witches be
Be
hoes.
hoes.
Was it be? Oh, this was so off the rails.